because you like to be disturbed.
You know what's happening. It's time for the drop.
That was the least.
This is terrible.
That was the least exciting
I know.
Preamble of the drop ever.
Next week, I think you do the intro.
Whatever.
It's the drop. We're talking music. Quinn's got the list. We're going to jump in.
All right, let's talk. So we're gonna. There was a lot of record store day releases that are essentially new releases. We weren't able to talk. So you're going to see those mingled in here. We're going to talk about. We're going to kick it off with a big one, big staff favorite here. There's new music from Jon Jett, first time in a long time. This is Mindsets. This is a cool record. So you get 6 new songs from her with her band. It's what you would expect. It's punk rock. It's rocking. It's
Jon Jett.
Classic Jon.
Yeah, man.
And then the second side are all like live versions of it, which I think is cool, because any of our kind of punk leaning like rockers, like, you know, you hear new music from me, you're like, man, I want to hear that live.
Yep.
Guess what? A side, B side, that's what you're doing. And it's great. So this came out on vinyl and records today. We always, when we can, we try to order enough to have some for leftover. It'll come out, I guess, next year proper, but you can get it right now.
I love that
store. Yeah.
And I think for a while, this is the Blackhearts have had a pretty steady lineup for a little while now.
Yeah.
Especially Dougie Needles lead guitar. Michael Laguna's been there for a minute. Michael McDermott.
Yeah,
cool.
Great band.
Always has a good live show. If you ever get to see that,
absolutely. And she's opening for somebody. I think she probably plays 200 shows every year. I would bet. You know,
I saw them on that Who tour.
That was great.
Yeah,
it was terrific.
Yeah. It was really good.
Even my wife, who's like not really a big fan, she can like take her. It was like, that was really pretty great.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Okay. Next up, the Current Joys. This is their album Love and Pop. This is
tell me about this one.
It's a guy named Nick Radigan. You know, they've been kind of this emerging group on the secretly Canadian label. I dig it. It's very kind of, this record is like a recorded at home kind of record, but it's acoustic guitar. It's like beatbox kind of stuff. It's cool. a little bit of hip hoppy, but it's like a folk alternative thing. Boy, I just threw like every genre in that bucket list. But you get a guest appearance from Lil Yachty, but it's cool. Check it out.
Right
it's essentially, I think, kind of like a one guy thing. I think the last album was a little more band oriented. This one is kind of home studio sounding. Cool. It's got a cool sound to it. I dig it. I think it's
Current Joys.
Very tuneful. Very tuneful. This is a cool record. This is a band called The Third Mind. This is their second album. I don't think we talked about the first album, The Drop. It's kind of a super group of sorts. It's modern psychedelic music and made by people that you would not think would be psychedelic musicians. Number one, Dave Alvin of the Blasters, and A-level BMI songwriter. Wrote Long White Cadillac and a ton.
Not synonymous
with psychedelic music. And Jesse Sykes, who's like got this really kind of cool lounge singery voice, and then a guy from camper band Beethoven, David Immerglick, or Victor Krumenauer. Well, easy names to say on the drop. But this is a cool record, man. It reminds me of like late 60s, early 70s California psych, folk pop. Check it out. If you're if you're into that thing, you will dig it. It instantly will register with you. Okay, Texas guy. This is interesting. John D. Graham. Viewers may know him from, he's one of the triple guitar attack that was the True Believers, and he's made a bunch of great solo records
A lot of good
on his
stuff.
own. Great singer, very kind of Tom Waits-ish, where he had a near-death experience and has been in poor health, and he has this new album, Only Dead for a Little While. I like it. It's good. Bear with Balloons. And then I think he tells the story of a hype sticker on the cover there, but I listened to it this morning. It sounds great. It's on the Strolling Bones label, which is a boutique label of New West, where they put out stuff that they're trying to find a home for. Very advocacy of great music going on with that label, and he's one of the best things out of Austin ever, and a good friend of the store.
Did the artwork himself.
Did he? What does he say about his experience on the?
Let's see. I came back from death's door to make this, so it has a certain urgency to it. As such, this may be my best record yet. All right, well there you go.
There you go.
I praise from
acclaim from the artist himself.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is a kooky record. This is Cat Power, great singer, alternative folk.
Yep.
Darling. She has a new album, and it's Cat Power sings Dylan, and this is basically
we've said folk a couple of times already.
We have, yeah. This is her recreation of the 1966. It's a tribute of sort, the Royal Albert Hall concert that Dylan did. This is an exclusive on white vinyl. As much as you think something like this might be redundant, it does a great job in reminding you what a huge moment in time that was, with him really breaking through in England. It's terrific. She's such a great singer. I really like it. The interesting thing is that Robin Hitchcock did the same thing about 15 years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Exact thing. So
she's like, I can do it better.
So obviously, folk singers, that moment really resonates with them. It's a big deal. It's a big deal.
Have you ever been to the Royal Albert Hall?
I have not.
I think the next time I go across the pond, it's on my list.
I would love to go. There's been some great shows there.
I wonder if they give tours like the Ryman.
They probably do. But not to Americans, not to Yanks.
Not
Yanks can't see it, Hey, there's a new Busta Rhymes album.
I saw that.
Blockbuster.
Come on.
Yeah.
Been gone too long.
Of course, like a couple of hits, like Straight Away, Robashada, featuring Burner Boy, which is like, man, he's
red hot right now.
He's hot.
Yep.
And Luxury Life, featuring Colray, guest appearances. I mean,
Quavo.
Almost too numerous to mention.
Quavo.
But it's been a more than a minute or an hour or a few days since he's in a record, so we'll see what this happens.
I love the executive producers, Swizz Beatz, Pharrell, and Timbaland.
They're all criminal. They're making it happen. So singles sound good. So I think if you're into that, that'll be where it is at. From just north of Houston, Dallas.
Here we go.
Polyphonic Spree, Salvage Enterprises, their new album. From everything you read about this, is kind of a reset moment for the band, so I was curious to listen to it. I don't know if they changed a bunch of members or whatever. They're always kind of evolving. It's really Tim DeLauder. It's really his show, but I didn't get that from listening to it. It's it had big moody orchestral passages, and that's very evocative of Beach Boys, Beatles, and maybe even Moody Blues or something.
First time I heard it, I was like, this is definitely not something I'm interested in. Not this Polyphonic Spree.
Dude.
First time out.
So I had not seen them.
I was like, I just don't get it.
I was at a record industry junket at the Bottom Line in New York, and I'd been hearing things about him, and I knew Tim because his previous bands, and they came out and played. And that was when St. Vincent was in the band. She was the guitar player.
I did not know that.
And my takeaway from it was, who is that guitar player?
Right.
And also, my other takeaway is, for fans that don't know, there's 40 people in that group, and they all wear white robes. It seems like a cult.
Yeah, it was very. Maybe it was I don't know.
Only person making money on that tour, their dry cleaner.
Sure.
Because it's a lot of white robes.
Yes.
A lot of white robes. And so that closes the new release part of our
good one.
Yeah, it was good.
Killed it.
It's good. So let's
get to the good stuff.
Let's talk about the big stuff.
So good stuff.
For the reissue part of our program, the word you're going to hear over and over is 40th.
40th, okay.
40th. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you need help with that?
No, it's actually surprisingly light for something that's as large as this. This is the 40th anniversary of Motley Crue's Shout at the Devil. There's a big box set. And by the way, they stuck around from last week.
Look at them.
Yeah, they're hanging out with us. This thing is, they own their catalog, managing their catalog. This has 45s in it. It has multiple LPs. It has a bunch of ephemera. It has everything that you would want as a group.
Man down.
Man down.
We'll get that fixed.
Our
Anyway, look at this.
help from the studio audience here.
Floor director is right on it. Okay, if you for the absolute crew fan in your head, in your life, this is a must-have. It comes with a felt pouch and bandana, band member tarot cards, a metal pentagram 7-inch adapter, devil board with metal planchette.
What's a devil board?
I have no idea. Looks that kill. Well, I know what that is. Oh, and a 12-inch pentagram seance board.
With all the stuff that's in there, you have to buy
You can summon.
You can summon
Mars
the devil.
or something. Whoever,
or ex-girlfriend.
because he's got
whatever you
nothing
need
to do right now. So
And with all that stuff that you named, you still have to buy the picture disc separately. They're like, you know what? If you just want to buy the picture disc, we got that too.
yeah, now they're getting into the KISS territory of squeezing every nickel out of your.
If you don't think that is the model that is playing out here, good call, Ruben. Yeah, that is exactly what is happening. Yeah. So there you go. Okay, more reissues. The main. This is the 15th anniversary of their debut album, which this hasn't been on LP in forever. This is an indie store exclusive lemon yellow vinyl. This is a big band. They had a huge hit off this record, Into Your Arms, and they've sold since then. They had a couple records that sold for like in print briefly and sold for crazy money. Fans have really been looking for this record, so it's good. It's good that it's back.
Here it is.
Debut album, y'all. All right, you ready for another 40th? This is a big 40th. This is Journey Frontiers. I think everybody knows this. This is huge record. This is the one that followed Escape, and a lot of people think that this record suffered because it did not include 2 hits that were featured in soundtracks. Only the Young and help me out here. Only the Young and
Which are included here. I don't know, dude.
There's two soundtrack hits that they didn't put on that were
just
hits.
done separately.
They were done separately. They
Right.
gave away the soundtracks, and it kind of took away from the oomph of the record. The record might have actually been as big as Escape or bigger.
Yeah.
But people bought the soundtracks instead. But I mean, it's you look at this track listing. It's just
A lot of the
all
big
the way
ones.
down the line. Yeah,
a lot of the big ones are on here.
big record. This thing was 6 times platinum. It was inescapable the year it came out, right? Could you turn on the TV and not see
They made a
that
couple,
Separate Ways video with them on the dock, like
which was
doing
ridiculous.
kung fu moves and
It
stuff.
was ridiculous. They made a couple of bucks off of this one.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
So you get
Sold
those
a lot
2
of
songs.
t-shirts.
They kept the album as is, but you get the two extra songs on a 7 inches long, along with a couple of remixes. So
All right.
so kind of recreates the integrity of what that album would have been. Last up for reissues.
Go.
SoCal punk record, Social Distortion, Mommy's Little Monster. This was their debut record. This is the 40th anniversary of this thing too. Everybody's cashing in on the 40th.
Lordy.
This is their debut album, available on indie store exclusive smoke vinyl, already selling really well for us. I'm sure it's selling way better in California, but this has been a hugely popular band. It's really just at this point, it's just Mike Ness and a bunch of salaried employees. But you know what, that works. Whoever's got the name. But this really was such a hugely influential record and band at this time for that sound and what became California punk.
100%.
Yeah, it was a big record.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got a bunch of other technically reissues, but they're RSD Essentials and Record Store Day Black Friday releases that we couldn't talk to you about last week because either, check this out, some of them are embargoed and you can't talk about
Okay.
until the day, or we just made sure we had extra stock so we could have them because they're that important to us.
Let's go.
Ozzy Osbourne, Bark at the Moon. This is available on indie store exclusive blue vinyl. There's a standard version that came out, but it was a huge record. Jakey Lee really makes the scene on this record, and the title track's great. That video was so crazy, laughably. It's like, is this good or weird?
We don't know.
Bad?
It was
we don't
goofy.
know.
It was strange.
How long did it take for them to glue all that hair
I
on?
don't know, man.
Yeah. I remember walking in the record store and seeing the cover and went, I don't know about that.
Yeah. Out of all the Ozzy's, it's not one of my favorites. But
I saw the tour. I mean, the tour was great because you got like all the best songs
Did I
from
see
this
that?
thing.
what was
I think Crew opened for. I think
was-
these guys opened that.
yeah, I
tour.
saw one of those tours. What was the
Is this
what was the
40th
tour with
tour?
him on the throne?
That is
Original Sin?
orig-
Ultimate
Ultimate
Sin.
Sin.
Ultimate Sin. I saw that one.
This is the 40th too. 40th
Yeah.
anniversary.
So Ozzy's in the news because he's saying that, all right, you know what? I think I still have some mileage in me. I am going to go out, you know. And last year, of course, there was the big Tony Iommi interview where he
Yeah.
was like, you know, just done. There would be no more Sabbath. So Zach Wilde posts yesterday on his Instagram that he's taken his, you know, sometime, I guess, tribute band Zach Sabbath back out.
right. Oh yeah, popular band.
So people go nuts on Instagram. You know, it's not Black Sabbath and blah, 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 blah. Okay.
It's not supposed to be.
Not only has this guy worked closer with and for longer next to the boss,
Yeah.
next to
Yeah.
Ozzy, if anybody has the street cred to do it, and again, Black Sabbath has said there will be no more Black Sabbath.
Well, and classic rock fans or classic rap fans or classic country fans, this is the age we are living in, where these people are, if they're not, if they haven't left us, they are incapacitated to the point that they can't
They
tour.
can't.
So, and their estates, their families,
Yeah.
especially if they're gone, they're trying to figure out how to profit from it.
And if
So-
anybody is about preserving the integrity and paying homage to
And
that
he's been
group,
doing it for
Yeah.
10 years.
It's
So
that guy.
Let's give
Calm
him a pass.
down.
Calm down. Let's give him a pass.
Calm
Okay.
down.
All right, Ruben. Calm
Yes.
down. Okay. Let's talk about some experimental hip hop.
Did not take my meds.
This
I
is
love this
the-
band.
They're crazy. This
Yeah.
is the 10th anniversary of this album, Government Plates, third album from the Death Grips, reimagined with a new cover for its RSD Essentials. This is a big record. This is a fan fave. They have a bunch of records, but it's a fan fave, and you know, cool, crazy. I don't know what you want to say about
Yeah,
it.
and
Greatest-
if you're not ready for it and don't know anything about it, if you pop it on, this album could piss you off.
it's intense.
It's very intense.
And it's not one of those where you put it on and you listen to the drums and you go, I can do that.
No.
It's
Lots of
madness.
good concert and live performances of them on YouTube.
And
fun to
you know
watch.
what? Check it out because it's probably not
Yeah.
for you,
Yeah.
but you need to hear it.
And if you want to like get your money's worth energy wise out of a show,
Yeah,
I highly
there you go.
highly recommend it.
There you go. Okay, Houston, Texas, not Austin, Texas, not
The real
13th floor
the
elevators.
real Texas.
Bull of the Woods, their third and final studio record.
I had
featuring-
never even seen this.
Oh yeah, it's a big originals pop up from time to time. It's a kooky record. You got Barnyard Blues on there, but this is a record that really features the psychedelic jug where they're using it through, you know, signal processing. It doesn't sound like anything else. You know,
do
they were a
know.
brilliant band. It's I think sometimes discussed like how much involvement the band actually had with this release, but it is a great one and worth checking out. Now available on for Record Store Day.
That's a good
Black
one.
Friday on white vinyl. We ordered a ton of these because we live in Texas and
People are going to
want-
buy them. You're not going to have any
this
trouble. People are going to
stuff.
buy this one.
No. We're hopefully going to get through
All right.
Christmas with them, maybe.
All right.
Okay, now for something very different. You know, before there was CeeLo Green, before there was Gnarls Barkley, and
Yeah.
Crazy, there was the Goody Mob. And this is their big record.
Yes,
this is
sir.
Soul Food. This is the record that coined the term a dirty South. It's classic Southern hip hop, really in a fan favorite. It's cool. This is available again on vinyl.
It's good stuff, man.
Yeah, 1995 release, and I love it. It's from the United States of hip hop,
Yes, sir, it is.
but yeah, it's part of hip hop's 50th,
Certified.
and on the Get On Down label. Cool record. Check it out. People have been looking for this thing. I don't even remember a pressing of this being available, so might not have even
not
been
on
LP
vinyl.
at some point. Yeah.
That's for ding dang sure.
Okay, and those guys from Ireland, U2, they've continued their working with Black with Record Store Day to have releases every Record Store Day event, working through their catalog for 12 inches of unreleased material. And so the latest one is the U2 Under a Blood Red Sky. This is a red vinyl pressing that includes a giant poster and limited edition gatefold. The original was not a gatefold. It's funny because it's regarded as an EP back in the day. Remember they had like the EP at the top, but it's pretty much, I think it's like 32 minutes long, so it's almost kind of like an album. This is one of those records as a very young man that I could just put on and play guitar side to side and just flip it, and,
Funny that you should say that, because this guy that I knew kind of from the band scene was like, hey, he had a show booked, but he didn't have a band.
Oh my gosh.
At like Rockefeller's or something. He's like, so
how does one do that?
I don't know, but he probably told them, it's like, yeah, I want to be on that bill. So he got me and a couple of other people together to learn a bunch of songs. We did some like Cramps. We did a bunch of different stuff. But the one U2 song off of this album that we played was Party Girl.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, the great thing is like
Probably,
my skill set.
Everybody would have guessed every other song other than that one.
Yeah, I mean, I would have guessed I Will Follow, because you don't really.
I love that song.
I mean,
to this day, I love it.
Like 14, 15-year-old Quinn, like that was right at my skill set. Like I could.
Oh, me too.
Rock that.
Yeah,
like,
I was capable of those couple of chords.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, that's why that was such an important band for aspiring musicians. They were one of those bands that much like more punkier stuff.
Kind of inspired you.
I can do that.
And was there was no pyro involved.
There was no
solo sections.
No, yeah, right. I didn't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
At all. Okay, last for our RSD Essentials, and this is a Black Friday release as well.
Yes, sir.
This is one of the biggest sellers of Black Friday. Again, we ordered a ton, so we would have it through the holidays. This is Turnstile, coming off of a giant year for this band, breakthrough year for the band.
Enormous.
And so they worked with Bad Bad Not Good.
Yep.
Brilliant. They always do brilliant remixes. You get 3 remixes, one of them featuring Blood Orange of Turnstile Records. And for Bad Bad Not Good, they defy description.
Yep.
It's jazz, it's soul, it's rock. Their records are super interesting, but they do tons of remixes. They get tons of. They do a lot of hip hop stuff. They did Denzel Curry, Snoop. They've done remixes with Snoop, but also like the new Brittany from Alabama Shakes. They did remix it for a couple of her songs. So they work with everybody. Very, very cool band. And again, coming off a huge year, it's good to have something at the end of the year from them.
And there's a great live performance on the YouTube Hate 6 channel.
Oh, well, there you go.
Really, really good.
Hate 6, don't hate 3, hate 6. Okay.
They do great stuff.
Jazz makes a return to the old drop. And let me tell you, man, we got two of the absolute jewels in the crown of Blue Note Records.
This is the part of the show where I feel smarter because I'm sitting next to Quinn.
Well, I'm not kidding. When a lot of times we talk like, oh, this is a great record. This is an important record.
Yeah,
these are two of the greatest.
They
records
really are. Yeah,
that ever bore Blue Note's name. This is Night Dreamer by Wayne Shorter, and this it is terrific. This is a moment in time from this is 1964. He has been playing with Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers, and he is about to join Miles Davis's band, which would be his lifelong best friend, greatest. He contributed huge to that band, and in between, he made this record with some pretty great guys.
Sure, McCoy Tyner on piano, Elvin Jones on drums, Reginald Workman on bass. Yeah, pretty much the top of the working jazz
Morgan.
Artists of that time. Yeah,
been listening to this. This is it's brilliant. It's like one of those you have to own if you think you like jazz. And man, it's so great in the moment. Like you don't have to work too hard to get into it.
Right.
It's really terrific. And then he goes on to write a lot of the material that Miles recorded. But this is where it starts. And then next up. Tina Brooks, which people call him Tina, like Teena, like childhood nickname. This is his album True Blue. And what do you know about him? And this is so everybody remembers these covers, right? If you look at Blue Note, look up Blue Note album covers. These are always in there.
Classics.
Interesting guy. This guy's he recorded 5 sessions for Blue Note, but only one of them was released during his very short lifetime because he was a lifelong heroin addict.
Yep.
Until that ended. And but this is the only one that came out during his lifetime. It's pretty much regarded as one of the greatest Blue Note albums of all time. A brilliant sax player. A lot of the other recordings he did came out later, but he'd come out of working with Jackie McLean and Kenny Burrell and Freddie Hubbard, and then this is really kind of launches his career. But he never recorded again after 1961, then died a few years later. So this is like kind of opens and closes the chapter on Tina Brooks, and people look for this record all the time. It's great to have it back as a affordable Blue Note Essential series.
Available now.
Yep. All right. The door's swinging open. Doors are swinging open.
That's right. It's it's time
Ruben's
for the vinyl vault.
vault. Tell us all about it, Ruben.
Yeah, man. So here we go. So I went with the Monkees. I think it's just More of the Monkees.
That's the second album.
It's the second album, and
released like 3 months after the first one.
Exactly.
They didn't even know it was out.
So 67, right? Something like that, or I don't know. But I remember it because this was very early on. Since I loved the TV show, my mom went out and got the album.
Yeah.
So I played this album like deep grooves into it, and I mean I can put it on to this day and I love it.
Yeah.
I'm
with you.
I don't know why it's not the greatest pick in the world.
No,
but
this record is arguably their greatest record. It's filled top to bottom with awesome songs.
Dude, it's
lots of humor.
It's lots of humor, then lots of goofy stuff. But then there's songs that like I can listen to Auntie Griselda today, and it's a very twisted kind of song, man. You know, you got 4 huge hits, right? Man. It's just like
I'm a Believer.
So there's a whole lot of nostalgia there for me. But I mean, yeah, they were actors on TV. Mike Nesmith, talented musician and writer and producer in his own right, and I love it, man. It's just I know they were goofy and all of that kind of stuff, but super culturally significant. Maybe now that Jan Wenner's kicked out of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, they'll actually get inducted because they deserve to be in there. Yeah, because he personally hates them. So now that he is not running the show, the amount of
in there.
venom.
I mean, and you think about in your life as a person of a certain age, what music you have listened to the most.
Yeah,
this is right up there with me. I probably heard this so much, and as a kid, I liked that. I mean, I didn't. Difference between like right
here where it says "Write to the Monkees Fan Club," I was like, one day I'm gonna write something.
Does it still have an address on there?
But that was like 7-year-old me, and I was like, that's a lot. You got to like write the letter and put it in the envelope and find a stamp. It just felt overwhelming. But anyway, that's
now you can just like hit them up on
now
X.
I can on X. I wonder if the Monkees have a Instagram. We'll find them and we'll
I'm sure they do. Actually, they have a band archivist that like takes care of everything for them, and that's why they have such a great presence.
We are in the closing moments. What's coming up? What's on the horizon?
I sense that there's going to be a Christmas music edition of the drop. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but smell that smells like Christmas.
And here's something you guys can kind of mull on and just mull over or whatever. And if you want to hit us up, hit up Cactus Music. You can hit me on Instagram. You can do whatever you want. But the discussion is, should you be playing Christmas music when you walk into a record store?
Oh, yeah.
Because you're
getting a lengthy discussion.
You're getting
about that.
If you're walking into Walmart or anywhere right now, it's like Jingle Bells and Little Drummer Boy coming at you nonstop.
It's Christmas music fatigue, isn't it?
It is.
You're out and about, but let us know how you feel about it.
Luckily, I came here and there was early Genesis playing, so I was like, home again. Nice. It feels good. In-store performances before the year's out?
No, but we're going to kick it off in January in a huge way.
That's a tease. That's what we call a tease in the business.
We're going to blow it out. It's going to be good.
All right, good. And it's not going to be me and Quinn doing our ukulele duet that we've been working up.
We're not?
No. I think that's only for like friends and family.
Or enemies.
Friends and families. Oh, the passing of Shane MacGowan.
Oh yeah,
65 years old. We lost Shane MacGowan. I got lucky. I got to see the Pogues once. I think you were there. That number show.
Talked about
we
that.
talked about the
we
number
talked
show.
About that. I was telling somebody about that crazy.
Sure.
I had a crazy
sure.
run-in with him.
You know, after he was, I guess, pushed out of the band, later on formed Shane MacGowan and the Popes.
Still great records.
Known for his lyrics and for his, you know, I guess, and even around Christmas, we start hearing Fairy Tale of New York, which, you know, if you only hear one song and you want to know where he's coming from lyrically, that's a good place to start. A lot of people love that song.
I love that
song.
And
it turns up in movies and in TV shows and all of that. But people are like, oh, he finally drank himself to death. But no, brain encephalitis. He contracted some sort of strange bacteria or viral infection, and it was encephalitis. That's what killed him. I don't know. You know, a friend of mine the other day landed in the hospital, and he'd come into contact with like E. coli.
Why are you telling me that?
I don't know. Don't take your shoes off at the beach.
Really?
All right, that's
what we just closed this thing down.
Do we have to put that disclaimer as like on the show? We are not giving medical or legal advice.
Yeah, we are not
therapists. We are not doctors. All these opinions are our own.
Seek a professional.
Seek a professional help. Consult your own accountant.
If there's one thing we're not, it's professional.
That's right. All right, we'll see you guys next week. That's the drop. See you later. Peace.
I think we're gonna hit the button.
Yeah, I know we have to hit the button, but I always forget where the button is. Leaving the studio. See ya.